How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Fallout 76 discussion video where I'm going to be talking about why I believe Fallout 76 to be an online Fallout game. Now, apart from all the leaks that we've gotten, I did some speculating myself, and I think I got a pretty concrete conclusion down as to why Fallout 76 will most likely be an online Fallout game. Now, as many of you know, a lot of people are really against the whole Fallout Online thing. Personally, I'm in for it as long as it's executed well, and as long as it doesn't completely overshadow the single player, because, of course, we all know that Fallout is all about the single player role-playing experience. It's not supposed to be a multiplayer game, and because we've never really seen something like this in a Fallout game before, or really in a Bethesda Game Studios game, I'm hoping that the multiplayer is just a side thing that we can do optionally if we want to play with a friend, and that the single player is still completely open to us. But at the same time, I think it would be really cool if you could actually jump into Fallout with a friend and rebuild the wasteland together. I think it's a really good idea. I just hope that it doesn't become dominant over the single player experience. And I know this might sound a bit extreme, but if Fallout 76 was to have multiplayer of some kind, I think it'd be really cool to have, wasteland battles where you could select a race like a super mutant, a human, a ghoul, maybe one of the factions, and you could just fight to the death on a large battlefield. Again, if done well, I feel like that would be a really fun feature to have. But enough speculating, let's get into why I think Fallout 76 is going to be a multiplayer online Fallout game. So in my opinion, it seems unlikely that Bethesda Game Studios would do something nearly the same as Fallout 4 with the same engine and not deliver something that they haven't done before, something unique. Fallout 76 likely started development way before Fallout 4's release, and it was likely started to take Fallout in a different direction, upgrading the engine and eventually collaborating with Bethesda Game Studios Austin to make an online Fallout game, which I will get into later on. I just find it very unlikely that Bethesda would just do the same thing as Fallout 4, a single-player Fallout game running on the same engine, not including it as an official title in the series like Fallout 5, and then releasing it just 2.5 years after Fallout 4. I feel like the purpose of Fallout 76 in the first place was to try something new with Fallout by providing not only a new story, location, and timeline, but also to include an optional multiplayer/co-op mode. And if Fallout 76 did start development before Fallout 4 even released, then Bethesda Game Studios wouldn't have even been aware of the backlash that Fallout 4 would eventually get, so clearly Fallout 76 wouldn't be to improve on what Fallout 4 did wrong, as they weren't really aware of any of that yet. And if Fallout 76 wasn't an online multiplayer game, why in their right mind would they start development on yet another single-player Fallout game when they are about to release Fallout 4? It just doesn't make much sense to me. So my point is that I feel like Fallout 76 was originally purposed to do Fallout different. So instead of the traditional single-player role-playing game that Bethesda has always done with the series, they would allow you to get online with your friends and explore the wasteland together. Another reason why I think Fallout 76 will likely be a multiplayer game is that Bethesda Game Studios Austin, which was formerly Battlecry Studios, was working on an online hero game known as Battlecry until it was cancelled. So it just makes sense that Bethesda Game Studios Maryland would be working on the main game, as Fallout 76 seemed to have a lot of Fallout 4 assets, while Austin would be working on the online part of the game because of their expertise with that area from the development of Battlecry. So why would two studios part of the same company be working on the same game that runs on the same engine as Fallout 4 and will be recycling assets from that game, when Bethesda Game Studios Maryland could have just done that all by themselves? I believe that Bethesda Game Studios Maryland is working with Bethesda Game Studios Austin because they have never done anything online related in any of their games before, and we all know that Bethesda Game Studios Austin worked on Battlecry, so therefore having experience in the multiplayer area. So my point is that I believe Bethesda Game Studios Austin was established not only so Bethesda Game Studios could have a third studio along Montreal and Maryland working on their games, but also so that they could help them in any possible online projects such as Fallout 76. But this is just all speculation at this point. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Would you like to see multiplayer implemented into a Fallout game if it is done right? I personally would, but we're just going to have to see more of Fallout 76 at E3 before we can confirm anything. So until then, I'll be seeing all of you next time.